Sorry, I got interrupted. Let's do part two. He's right. I can't protect either of us on the ground. I start climbing, scaling the cornucopia on my hands and feet. The pure gold surface has been designed to resemble the woven horn that we fill at harvest, so there are little ridges and seams to get a decent hold on. But after a day in the arena sun, the metal feels hot enough to blister my hands. Ooh, so what's going to happen? We'll find out tomorrow on our next edition of Daily Videos with me. So, let's get right into John Pavlovitz, though. So our story today, not tonight, is from John Pavlovitz, Stuff That Needs to Be Said. No white MAGA friend, you weren't embarrassed by Barack Obama. Ooh, so let's hear what he has to say. I remember the day after the 2016 presidential election. A friend of mine, who happens to be white, remarked on social media that he finally wasn't embarrassed of America and our president. I sprained my eyes rolling them, and they have never fully recovered. Since then, I've heard this sentiment echoed by more white folks than I can count, especially in recent months. Supposed relief at once again having a leader who instills pride. And as if we didn't have a white president before Obama, we had a long list of 43 presidents all in a row who were white men. Just saying that out loud. All right, anyway. That many presidents. Sorry. Since I don't have the time to ask each of them individually, I'll ask here. So you were embarrassed for the past 8 years, huh? Really? What exactly were you embarrassed by? Were you embarrassed by his one and enduring 25-year marriage to a strong woman he's never ceased to publicly praise, respect, or cherish? Were you embarrassed by the way he lovingly and sweetly parented and protected his daughters? Were you embarrassed by his Columbia University degree in political science or his graduating magna cum laude from Harvard Law School? Maybe you were embarrassed by his white American and black Kenyan parents or by the diversity he was raised in, viewed as normal or as welcome news. Were you embarrassed by his eloquence, his quick wit, his easy humor, his seeming comfort meeting with both world leaders and street cleaners? By his bright smile or his sense of empathy or his steadiness? Perhaps by his lack of personal scandals or verbal gaffes or impulsive tirades? No, of course you weren't. Honestly, I don't believe you ever were embarrassed. That word implies an association that brings ridicule, one that makes you ashamed by association. If that's something you claim to have experienced over the past 8 years by having Barack Obama representing you in the world, I'm going to suggest you rethink the word choice. You weren't embarrassed by Barack Obama. You were threatened by him. You were intimidated by him. You were challenged by him. You were triggered by him. But I don't believe it had anything to do with his resume or his experience or his character or his conduct in office, because you seem fully proud right now to be associated with a 3-time married serial adulterer and confessed predator, a man whose election and business dealings and relationships are riddled with controversy and malfeasance. You're perfectly fine being represented by a bullying, vile, obnoxious, genitalia grabbing, tweet ranting, prime minister shoving charlatan who's managed to offend all our allies and alienate millions of our citizens in a few short months. And you're okay with him putting on religious faith like a rented, dusty, ill-fitting tuxedo and immediately tossing it in the garbage when he's finished with it. Just to be clear, this is what John Pavlovitz is writing. None of that you're embarrassed by. I wonder how that works. Actually, I'm afraid I have an idea. Listen, you're perfectly within your rights to have disagreed with Barack Obama's policies or to have taken issue with his tactics. No one's claiming he was a flawless politician or a perfect human. But somehow I don't think that's what we're talking about here. I think the thing President Obama did that really upset you, white friend, was having a complexion that was far darker than you were comfortable with. I think the president we have now feels much better even at his oranges. Because objectively speaking, if that's what's happening in our country right now, doesn't cause you great shame and doesn't induce the continual meeting of your palm to your face, I don't believe embarrassment is ever something you struggle with. No, if you claim to be embarrassed by Barack Obama, but you're somehow not embarrassed by Donald Trump, I'm going to strongly suggest it was largely a pigmentation issue. And as an American and a Christian committed to diversity and equality and to the liberty at the heart of this nation, that embarrasses me. Wow. So, John Pavlovitz just says it how it is. He says what he wants to say. So, God bless you all. And I pray for you, and I pray for us all. Let's continue to be safe out there.